Alright, today's my birthday. Woo! Yeah, so on the 22nd, on the 25th of May 2002, I was born. Shout out to my parents, shout out to my sisters. And on this channel specifically, one of my favorite long running series is doing a video on my birthday. And I usually just take this moment to, like, reflect, to also celebrate the moment, commemorate the year, and also just share like some thoughts as I enter a new year. And with this year's video, I want to do something a bit different. I want to spend my time asking my 30-year-old self some questions. This video was inspired by Halise, who's a really cool creator, and also Dodo Water, who's also a really cool creator as well. And yeah, so shout out to them for inspiring this video. So I have 9 questions that I'm going to pose to my 30-year-old self. If I'm still alive, if I'm still good and breathing and doing all of this, then hopefully I'll answer it and see how my life has changed or stayed the same. Yeah, so without further ado, let us get into the questions. All right, the first question. Are you going to therapy consistently? And the reason I'm asking this question to myself, and hopefully I answer one day, is because if there's one thing that these past year or 2 years have taught me, is that yeah, I'm dealing with a lot internally. I have a lot that I need to work through. That's not going to like be fixed in like even 2 years, a year, or that needs like a lot of deep work. And it's on so many different layers, from like my from my identity to my masculinity, the way that I interact with people, the way that I deal with failure. So on so many different levels, there's so many different things that I can point to. I'm like, oh my days, even like going back to like traumas that I didn't even know I had, but that are in me as well. There's so many different things that I've just been like learning, that have like shaped how I operate. So man, I just want to know, how have you made that decision? Have you taken that step? Have you got into contact with people? Yeah, what is that situation looking like? All right. And then the second question, how is your relationship with your family? Yeah, so over these past couple of months, you know, days, even recently, like shit, every day, like a lot, I've been just thinking about my family. I've just been reflecting on, those interesting people, my relationship with them, the things that we've gone through, family dynamics and things like that. So, and a lot of times, honestly, recently, I've just been, I've been just thinking about how I've kind of like neglected those relationships a lot, and and in different ways, like neglecting it in like not asking questions, not pursuing deeper, like meaningful conversations, or what, or not even like, or being quiet or isolating myself in just different ways. So my question is like, just how is your relationship with them now? How has it changed? Has it grown? Has it stayed the same? How's everyone doing? Where is everyone? Just, Prince and everyone. So yeah, how's everyone doing, man? Okay, then the third question. Do you have friends? So, Hans, it is currently 10:15 South African Standard Time, 25th, on the 25th of May 2026, right? As of right now, as of this moment, you only have two really, really, really good friends. Two friends who know you, who you feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? So, question is, my nigga, do you have at least one more friend like that in your life right now? At least one. And if you don't have, I need you to get one right now. That's a command from the past. You need to get at least one more friend like that. By that time, you should have at least one more friend like that. All right, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. At least one more friend like that. All right. Okay. And then for question number 4, what is your life like? have you accomplished some of the goals, some of the visions that you wanted to execute on? Have you, well, like, what is your life like? What does your life entail? Is it different? Is it the same? Is it how you thought it would go? You know, this question for me is a lot about vision. Like, do you still have, like, that closed mindset, or, you know, has life forced you to, expand your vision, expand your scope of what you think is possible about yourself, but also about what you can do, about your talents, about your no, I don't want to say value, but I'll just use that. But like your value, has how is your life going in those different in that regard? Yeah. Yeah. It's a very weird question, but I'd love you to answer that. And speaking of change, that takes us to question number 5, which is, do you have a kid? Do you have a child? And the reason I'm asking this question is because, or currently, or as of right now, I know that you have a very contentious relationship with the concept of fatherhood, and with fathers too, very true, and with manhood, maybe even too. Shit, just being a man. Like, what is your relationship with all of that? And so, my question is, like, has that changed? Have you grown in that area? Have you, found peace in that area? Or have you kind of like, have you healed in that area, basically, in terms of just like maybe even having, not even just having a kid, but also in terms of how you relate to yourself, in terms of how you think about being a father one day, or even having kids, those type of conversations, or within yourself. How is that going so far? Yeah. Do you feel ready to be a dad? Do you feel ready to be a dad? Do you feel ready to be a husband? Do you feel ready to take those responsibilities? So yeah, that's the question. Or are you ready within? Which is gonna be crazy. 6 years. That's 6 years, right? Mad. So yeah, how is all of that going internally, externally? Has anything changed? Let me know. All right. Now moving to question number 6. This basically runs around my faith. So I've been a Christian for 10 years now, 2026. And so the question I have for you is, how is your relationship with God? How is that changed? How has that evolved? How is it going? You know, have you found a church? Have you found, you know, do you do you do you give yourself more grace? More do you give your Are you more comfortable giving yourself grace? How is your repentance cycle? How are you at receiving love? How are you at receiving love? How are you at receiving love? That is the biggest question, actually. How are you at receiving love from God, but also from people? You know, that, yeah, that's the one. That's the one right there. Because that one unlocks everything else. How are you at receiving love? Mm, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. And then with question number 7, this is a very simple question. With question number 7, I wanted to ask you about basketball. Since 2020, you have fallen in love with the sport. It has been a very integral part of your life for the best part of those 6 years. So, shit, you even have a YouTube channel dedicated to that. So how is that going? How is Have you continued playing? Do you still love the game? Do you still love do you still love this sport? Do you still love covering it? Do you still love analyzing it? Do you still love watching games? How is your relationship with basketball right now? You know, that is my question. All right, the 8th question: do you have a girlfriend, or do you have a wife? What is the situation there? What is the situation? Because because right now the path to any of that seems impossible. I don't even lie. It seems impossible. But do you have a girlfriend or a wife? That is my biggest question. If so, wow, interesting. How did you meet? How did that happen? With you, how did that happen? Wow, crazy. That is mad. That sounds mad. It's crazy. Actually, I don't even think about it. That sounds mad. All right. So yeah, just this question about that, and also more so, how is your relationship with relationships? Do you still feel regrets? Do you still feel um I know you're struggling with worthiness, so do you still struggle with that? Or the belief that someone that someone can love you, like all of you, Do you still struggle with that? All your flaws, all your things. You're just you know? Do you still struggle with that? Have you found, that special somebody who will be with you, or whatever that looks like, both internally from yourself and outwardly, externally with someone else? What's the situation like looking there? Doing a scouting report. All right. And then finally, if you made it here, you made it to the end basically of my questions. The last question is, if I die, question is, if you die before you reach 30, what would you want your last message to be? What would you want your last words to be? And I guess I'm answering that now. So if I don't reach 30, then you're gonna have this basically. And with that, I think my biggest thing, if I don't reach 30, I would be, first of all, how did I die? That's the first question. How did you die? Did you die like in a place of glory? Did you die? Is it tragic? Was it, was it long? Was it painful? How did you die? That's the first question. But moving on from that, I would definitely be like, if I don't make it to 30, with what I know right now, being a 26-year-old for 24-year-old for 10 hours, and I'm going to assume 30 minutes and probably 30 seconds, I'm going to say that I'm happy with the life that I've lived. I'm happy with the experiences that I've had. I'm happy to have been blessed with the family that I've been a part of, and family biologically, but also family, junior, Todo, church family, HPC, Matapa, all of these different places, It has been a beautiful journey for me. Beautiful journey, discovering so much about myself in these 24 years, however long I'm alive, because I'm dead at this point. So think of that. Remember how many years I'm happy for, how many years I've been alive. I'm so proud to know each and every person I've had the pleasure of meeting, from like church to school to university. I'm just thinking, like, right now I'm just having Instagram, I'm just thinking about like everyone who I know, everyone, like, oh my god, I've been blessed to like know. I was just on Instagram today and I'm like, bro, oh my god, I know these people, this is crazy. Everyone just is so inspired. I've been so inspired by everyone. So like, man, I have been blessed and I've been happy with the life that I've lived. And on my side, I think that with everything that I've had, if this is the last, if I'm not alive, I hope that the one thing that people can take from me is that they have, through maybe my videos, and maybe interacting with me, they feel that I've left everything on the table. I've been as kind as I've been able to be. I've been as open as I've able to be. Shit, some people might, a lot of people could dispute that. I have, maybe through my videos more so, I've been as open as I could have been. I've worn my heart in my sleeve. I've spoken about my wins, my losses, my struggles, everything, So, and that is the biggest thing I'm proud of. If I can take one thing, this being YouTube, that is the biggest thing I'm proud of. Like, I've done this, I've done everything. I have, I don't know, should I say fight the good fight? I don't know if I can say fight the good fight, but I'm gonna just say it, man. Fought the good fight, and I've lived a life that I'm happy with. And I pray that if you're watching this, you can look at my life and be like, even if you can pick one thing, you can be like, oh, this Hans did his thing, and I'm inspired by that. Hans did his thing there, and I'm so encouraged by that. Hans did his thing there, or he did this thing to me, or he did and he was, and I am, and it brought me joy. It brought a smile to my face. It made me hopeful. It made me happy. If I've done any of that, I've done my job. Done my job, man. Done my job. With this life that God has blessed me with. Yeah. So, thank you very much to each and every one of you. If you get to this point, that has been the end. If you are still watching this at 30, wow, so proud of you. And I love you very, very much. You are incredible. Genuinely, you are a very incredible man. And I'm so excited to see who you are. I know you're going to be looking at me, looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. And I'm like, yeah, bro, mad, crazy. Yeah. Shout out to you, man. And shout out to any one of you. Now I'm talking to you guys now. Shout out to any one of you who's watching. Thank you very much. That's the end of the video. I will see you guys somewhere, somehow on one of these channels. Thank you very much and have an incredible day. Happy birthday to me again. Oh shit, I'm gonna go to aquarium today, chill with the penguins and the whale, no whales, but sharks and all of that. Hopefully have a good day. Buy some cheesecake, have some cheesecake, enjoy some cheesecake. And yeah, that's it from me, man. I'll see you guys